Hey, how are you? How was your week?
It's incredible. Lots of wonderful things happening. It's so much to share. It's been just one fantastic thing after the next happening. There's too much to share. Oh, it's bananas. Oh, it's bananas. I mean, you see, you got to understand, especially today, right now. Even though there's a lot of FUD and there's a lot of concern, and we'll get into a lot of it tonight. Overwhelmingly, those that really want this level of appreciation in their portfolios are really sticking to their guns. And I got a lot of interesting things to share tonight that I really want all of those that are coming from a basic perspective to really get it. So lots to share. Queen Cazelle, we missed you. I hope you're okay.
I am, and thank you. I missed you as well. And just good to be back.
Absolutely. Lots to share. Lot of progress. A lot of progress. A lot of wonderful things happening, and I can't wait to really include everybody in it. In the meantime, really just trying to take care of home base. My mother is hanging in there, but she's still going through a rough time, so she's not out of the woods quite yet. So we're, just taking it one day at a time with her, hopefully, the week is going well for both of you as well. I'll ping some people in here too.
I'll do the same. Yeah.
So we'll get started in just a minute. 1 second.
Hope, are you going to do a YouTube at the same time?
Oh yeah, I'm live right now on YouTube and on Discord.
Oh, I mean tonight. Yeah. Oh, on Discord too. I can go and follow you.
Lock 7, what's going on, baby boy? How you doing?
Picasso.
And for those that don't know, this is my baby son. My baby son that's almost 25 years old.
Hey, baby boy.
Good evening.
What's the hair? Love it.
So definitely, lots to share, on all fronts. The place that we're going to go, especially as far as topics, we're going to focus on a topic that I think has to really be rooted for newbies to really hear. And let me give you guys, paint the picture very, very clear. Over the weekend, and trust me, the crypto environments are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So this, many of while we're sleeping, there's people trading crypto, and vice versa. So literally, this weekend I was able to engage with people from all over the world. We're talking Africa, Europe, India, and right here across America. And everyone is trying to get exposure to cryptocurrency, but many of them are not trying to do the right thing, And so the thing that I really want to focus on tonight is really watching out for scams. The scams in this area are going to ramp up, and here's really what's going to happen. They're trying to get your hard-earned money, or your hard-earned crypto, right? They're trying to get one or the other, and so you really gotta to do your due diligence. You gotta double down. There's a lot of fakes out here. There's a lot of folks, hopefully you guys are aware, that have been trying to impersonate me. And, anyone who let me know, Queen Gazelle let me know, I had 2 or 3 people this week let me know that another profile popped up because the one Gazelle found, we shut down. And then another one popped up. They didn't copy my pictures this time. They just kind of copied my profile header. So I'm just going to start keeping my profile header a little fresher, and you'll see the words like the official account kind of thing, and and I'll just have to just keep keep the vigilance up, and we're probably going to have to hire a team just to, to chase all this down, because it just takes a lot of time to protect yourself, but you really have to do that, especially today. And believe it or not, tonight we're going to talk about staying away from the fakes and really dealing with the real, right? Believe it or not, there's fake NFTs out here in these streets, right? There's people trying to scam you in these streets. So, I had some conversations with some bankers recently, and the bankers were like, I want to stay away from crypto because they're scared. They're scared. And but the one thing's for sure is that Bitcoin is on the books of corporations across the world as intangible assets, and that's not going to change. However, believe it or not, tangible assets are still around. So I want you guys to hear me clearly. I still believe in tangible assets. So I definitely promote diversity for all of those who are really willing to take and sacrifice and really focus, and do what you have to do to advance wealth for your family and your community. These are the things that are certainly most important. um, Today, I don't know if you guys heard the news. In 2016, there were some crypto hackers, right? And they had a bunch. They really got away with a lot of loot, and they took the crypto and they were buying NFTs. They actually went as far as buying physical gold. Well, guess what? This couple, I believe it was, did get apprehended. And that's the one thing that folks say about crypto. They said if somebody's going to do crime, they're going to do it with crypto. It's not really true, because once they catch you, guess what? They can catch anyone you're connected to. And so, people who do crime, they prefer to do it in cash, or, in some way where they're not going to be connected to you. So that's the thing that you really have to, you know, pay attention to, especially today. There's just so many different scams. So I'm going to start off this topic of caution. With these topics. Bunny, what's going on? Nikita, how are you both doing?
Hello, Alice.
Excellent, excellent. Nice to see everyone in the room. This is the Crypto Basics room. This is the Trade All Day Club, and this is the Crypto Basics room. My name is Hope Smollett. They call me the Black Picasso specifically because I love to promote the acquisition and use of cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. And I love for everyone in this room and all of your families to hang one of these Picassos on your wall, because ultimately over time they're going to really be priceless. And so this room is a room where we're really focused on the basics. I'm not going to really get into advanced topics in this room, but we touch on advanced topics, of course. This is something that I've been involved in for quite some time, since 2012. And so I engage in all levels of this industry, and so I have a network full of folks who are doing everything from mining to crypto exchanges and crypto banking, and all of the like. And I'm not a know-it-all, so just so you guys know, there's a whole lot of folks in different aspects of this industry that I love to engage and I love to learn from. But I definitely have a nice breadth of knowledge about cryptocurrency industry broadly, and specifically in a number of different discrete areas. So I'm happy to take any questions. And what I like to do every week is just bring different topics. And the topic today, we're going to really focus on, how to stay away from, fake crypto or crypto projects and things like that. So let's start off with the topic of NFTs. This is one of the hottest topic in DeFi today in terms of, cryptocurrency is using smart contracts to promote NFTs. And, we're certainly involved in that. Even my baby son here, and we have a dream team. I have 5 young directors under 30, all really promoting cryptocurrency. And so it's the Fire NFT project. If you guys are interested, it's you can find it on OpenSeas. And it's a really exciting project. We have first class NFTs, all in the music genre. Right now, we've released Lauryn Hill, Fat Joe, and Sway. And we have collections coming by other very, very highly regarded named artists. And we just recently made some relationships for some other named artists that want to come on board as well. We're going to bring a lot of hip hop legends to NFTs. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna do some fun drops here coming on Valentine's Day. Anyway, long story short, NFTs are a real phenomenon. And I want you to understand, really what this is. So NFTs, a lot of people will look at it and they'll say, this is just a picture, and it's a picture, and they're selling a picture. You're selling a JPEG, or you're selling a PNG file, and that's not really what's happening. What this is, it's very similar to collectibles, right? So from a collectible perspective, it might make more sense, right? Because you think about some of those first edition baseball cards, right? And if anyone did that, got into baseball cards, I actually got into baseball cards, you would remember that the value of the baseball cards were based on what? It was based upon the record of the people who were featured on the card. So if it was LeBron James, it would be featured on what? The history of that particular um, basketball player. If it was a football player, if it was a baseball player, the same thing, right? And so rarity in terms of how rare is that card. So let's say they printed only 100 cards. It would be very rare for you to hold one of 100, right? So how rare a card would be, and then also the topic of the card, because when you look at a baseball card, it's made of what? Cardboard, right? So it's cardboard and paint, and so when you're looking at this painted cardboard and you buy it, a lot of people will say, is this the value is the cardboard? No, it's the how rare what is featured on that card is, and then it has to be preserved. There's different ways that it gets graded. Well, guess what? NFTs are a similar thing to kind of like collectibles in that fashion. So it's not the JPEG itself, because JPEG is just a JPEG, but it's what is being depicted in the JPEG, who's the artist who made the JPEG, how rare is that JPEG. It's very similar to what a baseball card is in terms of how value can be calculated. And believe it or not, some of these JPEGs are worth millions and millions of dollars. So with that as an opening, I want you to understand they have different ways. So, for example, because it does look like a JPEG, right? So, what if someone went and just copied a JPEG and went on OpenSeas, opened an anonymous account, because cryptocurrency is mostly anonymous, and resold something that they really didn't own in the first place? Would that still that NFT that is featuring something rare still be valuable? No. You know why? Because it's a fake. And anything that's a fake, similar to baseball cards, you could have the same cardboard, someone reprints it, and thinks that they can just, sell it as the original. But no, they're not the ones who hold the um, who hold the actual cards, right? So they didn't have the right to have that different derivative of that particular collectible. So anyone who is going to buy an NFT, if you want it to be resold, and if you want to hold on to something for valuable, you have to make sure that what you're dealing with is genuine. And a lot of people will say, wow, that puts a little level of complexity in it, and it should, because you got to understand, the whole field of NFTs is one that it's just evolving. It has so much upside. We're talking this industry is going to really grow in leaps of bounds, because NFTs now are serving as a gateway for so much more. Last week we had one of my co-teachers. I'm teaching a master class on NFTs. I actually teach this Thursday at 6 o'clock. This master class, you can go to my LinkedIn and you'll see the invitation there. Anyone who is interested in coming, I probably still have a couple tickets. I can get a couple people in. So first come, first serve. I'm happy to bring some folks into this master class. I'm literally this Thursday teaching the whole process. So I'll be teaching how to actually code an NFT. So there's ways to code it from a pixelated type of perspective. There's ways to develop it from a JPEG or a bitmap perspective. And then there's ways to how do you manage this collection of thousands of NFTs that are minted to the blockchain. If you had to do this process manually, it will take you hundreds of hours. If you ever tried to load an NFT into OpenSeas, those in this room who kind of know what I'm talking about, it's a process not for the faint of heart, right? So what I'm sharing with you is that NFTs is definitely something. If you're not in NFTs, meaning if you're not interested in producing it, that's certainly one thing. But if you are interested in collecting it, that's a whole. There's two different sides of the industry, and either way you go, I want you guys to be safe. If you want to produce an NFT, make sure you're producing an NFT that you can promote and certainly generate value for, and make a boatload of money. I'm certainly interested in all of you guys being getting blessings in the billions. You know what I mean? That's the goal of all of this, right? I really want to see those in my community. And again, my community, spans the whole globe. I want you guys to engage and really benefit. So I don't want you to buy NFTs that are certainly, when you review them, you do your due diligence on the project. Don't spend money unless you know you're buying a genuine NFT from the original creator. And because if you buy it, and let's say they have the Bored Ape collection, and they, change the name of the creator, and so it might sound like it's the original creator or the original collection, but it's really not. They just created a derivative, stole some JPEGs and minted it and sold it, and you thought you got a deal buying a Bored Ape, yacht club kind of rare collectible NFT, and you went and bought it for $200 when the minimum Bored Ape right now is probably going to be thousands of dollars, right? So if it's too good to be true, more than likely it's too good to be true, and it's not genuine. Don't get involved, right? Certainly, you always have to reveal the smart contract and make sure you're on the exact smart contract for that collection. All of this is public, and you may say, hey, Hope, where do I find that? You find it right. If you go right to, you can go right to the Coin Market Cap or CoinGecko. And if you go at the top of CoinMarketCap, it has three different topics at the top. It'll say cryptocurrencies, where you'll be able to walk through different cryptocurrencies, and more about that a little later. exchanges where you can buy cryptocurrencies, and then NFTs where you actually can see what's going on in the NFT world. And essentially, when you go there, it will say, here's what's going on. The cryptocurrency market cap is X. The current sales volume over the past 24 hours is X. And the total sales, 1,000 NFTs have sold in the last 24 hours. And 120,000 NFTs have sold since NFTs have been tracked, right? So you can look at this and you can actually click into the projects, and it has the details, all the details about how much money each of these collections have made. It's all public, it's all transparent. So that's the wonderful thing, is that a lot of this stuff is all transparent. It's on the blockchain. You don't have to guess, is it genuine? There's a lot of public databases that will allow you to validate and know that you're dealing with a genuine project, so you don't get scammed, right? So, don't click random links. If somebody emails you something to say, click this, you do the research yourself. You go to OpenSea.io, you go search for the collection yourself, unless it's a trusted source and you're getting it from a verified profile or a verified friend or someone like that. That's different. But just, be careful about clicking on random links, because some of those are phishing schemes where they're trying to get you to reveal something about yourself. And then always, when you have these collections, because remember, what we're promoting here is how to build your personal wealth, how to build things of value. So if anything you're building, it has value, someone is going to try to take it, right? So if so the caution I'm giving you here is, make sure you back it up. You can back up MetaMask wallet to a ledger, so you can actually connect your ledger to your MetaMask wallet. That has been in place now and working properly since about October of last year. So that's good news, right? So all of this is information just to help protect you as you dive into the world of NFTs, and which is a very exciting side of cryptocurrency, right? So that's essentially my opening monologue there, and happy to take any questions at this time before I dive into other crypto news and information. Any questions by anyone?
Hello, Black Picasso.
Hey, what's going on?
It's Bunny. Oh, not a whole lot. I sent you a text message of a new NFT, and I'm not sure if you had heard of it, but the gentleman, he is on Clubhouse. He goes by the name The Rundown.
Yes.
And have you heard of him?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you seen his NFT, The Little Hippo?
I believe so. Yes.
Listen, amazing. So I just want to know if you knew about that, because I want one of those hippos. So awesome. But thank you for everything that you do.
No, absolutely. No, thank you for promoting that, and anything of value, please keep bringing it back to this community. Share as often as you can, because again, just like a collectible, how would I know that my Reggie Jackson baseball card would be worth thousands of dollars one day? I just like the Yankees. That's my thing. I like the Yankees. I like anything New York. So I like the Yankees. I like the Mets. I like the Giants. I like all of them. So if it's New York, I'm all about it. I like the Knicks. Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't persecute me for that one, but I do. And the young team is turning it around today. So anyway, so collectibles are certainly very discreet, and it's not for the faint of heart, right? Because just because you buy something for $200 today doesn't mean that it's going to be worth anything tomorrow, because there has to be a market on the other side of that trade, right? And so that's where I transferred, or I'll continue this conversation to really talk more about cryptocurrency and double down on cryptocurrency and make sure everybody is safe, so that we talk about safe practices, and I'll share some things in regards to cryptocurrency, and some conversations that I've had recently that have been pretty crazy, right? So I'll give you a scenario. So there's different opportunities that come across my desk, and when those things come across my desk, I'm happy to, help to facilitate and serve as that bridge of trust in those situations, right? So I'll get a call from Miami. I'll just give you an example. And this example will say, hey, we got cash and we want, this offer of Bitcoin. And I'll say, cash. Well, if you're going to give me cash, then we're going to go to a bank, deposit it, make sure that your cash is genuine, right? And then we have to make sure that we know who we're dealing with. So we have to KYC everybody. We need everybody to get papered up. So if they have any criminal background or anything like that, it's gonna if they're money launderers or whatever, all of that is gonna get flagged. So that's how these type of transactions need to be done. They need to be done in the light of day. If you're trying to buy cryptocurrency, if you're trying to buy anything, you make sure that you're doing it decently and in order, right? And most of the folks in here are not going to be trying to go get a bag of cash and buy cryptocurrency. I'm just sharing with you, this is the kind of knuckleheads that I deal with, where I have to let them know, listen, no, I'm not meeting you in a bank and taking no bag of cash from you. That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm sharing with you guys is that this is the kind of stuff that happens every day in cryptocurrency. Right now, the hotbed for this stuff is happening out of Miami. I don't know how many people have moved to Miami just to trade cryptocurrency, but it seems like everybody I hear on a regular basis. I mean, just recently, in the past couple of days, I probably heard about 50 people in Miami trading cryptocurrency on the streets of Miami, right? It's a hotbed for this kind of activity, good, the bad, and the ugly. So just be careful. I don't encourage anyone to get involved in that kind of face-to-face kind of stuff, unless you really know what you're doing and really can defend yourself, because people will try to give you counterfeit cash, or if they'll take your cash and give you counterfeit cryptocurrency. So it works both ways. And I just want you to be very careful to protect your private keys. Now, private keys are the ways that you can always recover your wallet. So let's say you use MetaMask to buy an NFT. You save those private keys. You never expose your private keys. You make sure you don't save it in a notepad on your phone or on your computer. You write it down. Or better yet, you inscribe it into a piece of metal, right? And I know that's the next level, but if we're talking about something of value, it's worth the extra step, right? So I just want you to kind of hear those kind of best practices, because private keys are the keys to your house. You don't give the keys to your house or the keys to your car to anyone. You protect those keys. So just make sure you hold on to your private keys. There's no reason why anyone will need your private keys for a purchase of an NFT. There's a public key. That public key can be given because, for example, everyone in this room right now, I'm going to give a free NFT to. And that's my offer right now. And if you want the free NFT, what I want you to do is give me your Ethereum address, and then also give me an email address so I can just make sure you got the NFT. I'm going to drop everyone in this room a Fat Joe NFT tonight. So anybody in this room that wants the NFT for free, I'm going to give it to you for free. Our Genesis version of Fat Joe NFT is worth $600,000. That's what we have it priced at right now, and that price is only going to go up. All right, so I'm testing you guys. So if you're interested, you could text me on the back channel. Give me. Pretty great. I'm not giving away the $600,000 one. That's a one. That's a one of one. Thank you. Yep. I like the Black Picasso. You guys have to check it out. Yep. So next week I'll start giving away the Black Picasso NFTs in this room. And I'm gonna give away, as I said, all to get your NFT drop. What I'm gonna do and I'll send it out later this evening. All I need is your public address for your Ethereum wallet, right? So it could be your MetaMask wallet, it could be from your Trust wallet on your phone, your Ethereum public address, and an email address so I can know, to follow up with you and make sure that it went through. So send that to me, and I will send you a free Fat Joe NFT effective tonight. You'll have it before the morning. So I have an automatic process so I can code it and say, send them their free NFT. That'll be the airdrop that I have for everyone in this room. So hopefully everyone takes advantage of that. That is my offering. Every week I'll do that. Every week I'll give away free NFTs. I think that's a fun way to do it. That way it makes sure that everyone pays attention. And you should hold on to this. And let me tell you why you should hold on to this. Because the biggest thing about NFTs is hype. And the CEO of One Crown Entertainment is one of the biggest hype men out there, and he's really going to make this Fire NFT go crazy. So once it pops, it's going to be worth something really, really special, and I want you guys to be able to appreciate that, right? So if you see it, you'll see that the lowest price for the Fat Joe NFTs today, even the derivative. Versions are, I think it's in the $200 range. I think it's the cheapest one. So you guys all have that gift. You see, so this is how. Thank you for asking that question, and that's why I wanted to make sure that I'm really engaging with folks here. If you really a basic, you in a basics room, and I'm giving you a free NFT, and you don't know what wallet is, ask the question. So you asked a good question. So here are your options for how do you find a public key to an Ethereum wallet. Here's how you do it. Now, let me tell you what I would do. If someone said they're going to give me an airdrop of an NFT, I'm going to go to Ledger Live. Ledger Live is the desktop application for my Ledger wallets, right? So that's one way I would do it. And I would go to Ledger Live. It would have the Ethereum account. I would click on that, and it would say receive, and I would say the receive, and it would give me a code. It would say, and you click on it, and it'll say copied. And then once it's copied, then you can come back here and share it with me. So that's one way. Another way that you can do it, if you just want to, do a light experiment, right? Because as I said, I'm giving it to you at no cost. So there's no cost for you to receive it. What you're going to do is you can go on your phone. So you can go on, you can have the Coinbase wallet, which I don't prefer, the Trust wallet, which is very flexible. And then you can literally see when I drop the Fat Joe NFT, it'll go right into your Trust wallet. And then when you click on the NFT section of your Trust wallet, you'll see it tomorrow morning, right? So the way you would do it, you would go into your Trust wallet, you would download the Trust wallet into your phone, and then when you click on the Trust wallet, then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Ethereum coin in the Trust wallet, and if it's not set up, you have to go ahead and set it up. And then after you set it up, then you say receive, and the receive address is where you would be able to find that code. And if you need a little bit more help on that, let me know. Which one do you prefer? Which wallet would you prefer to use? Oh man, Chris is in the room. What's up, Chris? Thanks for joining. Oh, so yeah. So if you have Ledger, then you're good. Then go right to Ledger, and then you don't have it, but you would prefer to have it. Well, Chris, come to the stage, man. I'll make sure that you speak, man. And Carol's coming up. That's fine. David, how you doing, my friend? Oh man, I'm blessed exceedingly, man. Blessed exceedingly. It's always nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you. It's always nice to have billionaires in the room. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna be there, man. There's nothing gonna stop me from being there. I'll be right there. Yes, sir. Yep.
Can I read something to you that I just saw after I shared my Ethereum wallet with you?
Mm-hmm.
It says you can't send NFTs or wrapped Ethereum to this effect.
Oh, and where did you get this from? The Trust Wallet?
This is from off my phone from my Coinbase.
Oh, so now you're doing your hold on. You're doing Coinbase or the Coinbase wallet?
It's my Coinbase, not the wallet.
Okay, you need the wallet.
Oh, okay.
Chris, Chris, my friend, what's going on, man? Yeah, you a little low again, Chris, but you probably got that headset on. Yeah, I know. Oh, I see. That's the well, Chris. Just so you guys know, he's one of the teachers of the master class that I'm part of. He did a great job last week. He led the intro session to NFTs last Thursday. I'm going to be getting more into the technicals this Thursday, and you did a great job, Chris. Man, hopefully, it was well received.
Yeah, we got a lot of great feedback. We've had some more late registers actually since the class on Thursday. So hopefully you have even larger audience than I did. We had a really good turnout last week.
Yeah, we had a great turnout. Nice. No, looking forward to that. And no, it was good stuff. I'm gonna really spin their heads this Thursday, man, because an hour, to teach the pieces that I'm gonna teach, I could do it in 3 hours. It's so much detail there. But I'm just gonna give them the taste of it, and I'm gonna get into some Python, but then I'm gonna show them some other tools and tips and tricks, and we'll get it done. We're gonna really show them how to manage an NFT collection, how to create it, how to mint it, how to curate it, the whole thing. We'll go through it, and the tips and tricks are the best part of it. So definitely, thanks, Chris, for joining. You invited every week, my friend, every week. So.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. No. I mean, I think we're on the same mission to try to really help newbies stay safe, and especially in these crypto streets, you really need people who have your best interests at heart, and and it's not really trying to nickel and dime you for for information, and right now information is the premium, because yeah, it's the power, and because a lot of this stuff is happening on a daily basis. That's why you'll hear me always say, because the FUD that people will spread is that cryptocurrency is used by criminals. Trust me, criminals don't want to use cryptocurrency because it's a transparent ledger that's immutable, meaning it can't be deleted. So if it can't be deleted, that's why they caught these cryptocurrency hackers from 2016.
Yeah, I mean, so that's just the worst argument ever. Like, cash is used more for illicit activity than any other currency in the entire world.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I do have a quick question.
Yes.
You mentioned keeping people safe earlier. I didn't have time to touch on risk awareness, safety, stuff like that. But I know you mentioned last week, the technical sides and flaws in the code. And stuff
I'm gonna touch it a little bit. I won't have time in an hour. It's too deep. I'm gonna broach it, but because I'm talking about how to create it, I definitely have to talk about how are you creating and making sure your cryptocurrency collection is genuine. Just like, I don't know if you were here earlier in this session, but I compared this to baseball cards, right? And and similar to how you can have fake baseball cards, you can have fake NFTs, right? So it's very easy for folks to try and steal people's collections and things like that. That's why we're very careful, when we mint NFTs, if we, do promo JPEGs or whatever, we're trying to make sure that everything is copyrighted, and and so on and so forth. We're dealing with all curated art. This is all artists that were hired for task. And Sean, Big Sean is in the house. Sean, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? What's going on? Sorry, I'm late.
I don't know what you're doing, man. The hype man is in the house. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, I can't even tell you. Every day, Sean comes with like a new big name person that wants NFTs curated. So before you came in, Sean, I gave an airdrop for everybody in the room that wants an airdrop. I did an airdrop to everybody in the room. Everybody in the room is going to get a Fat Joe special edition NFT for Fire NFT. Everybody in the room is getting blessed. And I told them our Genesis is 600,000, so they should hold on to that one. Yeah. Oh, it's bananas. Yeah, it's bananas. So yeah, thank you for coming in. Knowledge, what's going on, my brother? I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, man. Another day, another dollar. The same. You gotta stack the Satoshis. That's right. You gotta stack them, man. Absolutely.
I kind of wanted to get more into the node process and understand. I mean, I get it, right? But I kind of want to get into the understand how I accumulate and how I would get started from just forming my own nodes and things like that. And, I know you spoke about it many times before, right? So, don't fire on me. Don't fire.
No doubt. No. That's a great question.
Was solid in the ground before I make my pivot out there.
No. This is a great question, and I'm going to I'll touch it with an example that's going to kind of get you guys really interested in security, right? Many of the big Bitcoin miners that I'm affiliated with. I don't know who's not muted. Who's that? That's all right. Yeah. So many of the Bitcoin miners I'm connected to are, they have super large stashes because, once you learn, you have the sources of equipment and all of that and the knowledge, it's just rinse and repeat, right? So these folks got, mining operations worldwide. We're talking Greenland and Indonesia and, far parts of the world, India and anywhere that they can have warehouses with people smart enough to keep the machines going, right? And so it's funny because I had a situation recently, and this was hilarious because and don't worry, I'm gonna come right back to your question, Knowledge, but I wanted to just drop this little because folks don't really, no problem. People don't really understand this side of the situation because essentially, remember, Bitcoin is a hard asset, meaning when I send Bitcoin to you, it's not coming back. It's not like PayPal. It's not like a credit card charge. It is a hard asset. It's one of the hardest assets known to man, right? So, many people want exposure to that. And most of the crimes that are going to be committed with cryptocurrency are going to be done right in the bank. So I want you guys to just be aware of that because I don't want you to feel like, everywhere to do a Bitcoin transaction is safe. No, it's not. So you don't expose your Bitcoin wallets. You don't take it out in the bank and say, can someone help me with this? Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Because it's a hard asset. And if someone happens to, fool you out of your Bitcoin and take your Bitcoin, you're not getting it back. So I just want to make that point clear. And so the folks that as I said, the large miners that have these mining operations, they will not reveal themselves because they know that all it will take is some black ops team to go put a bag over their head and they're gone. You get what I'm saying? That's their fear. So they hide themselves behind technology. So they run their own nodes, their own security, and things like that. And they're not going to breach that security for no one. Right. And I've seen that. These guys drive around in armored cars, bulletproof cars. They wear bulletproof vests. I'm not kidding you. This is a real thing. Right. These are people who hold billions of dollars worth of these assets and are targeted around the world. And these and huh? What you say?
I said, right, they don't sound like PTSD.
Oh, what? They don't even. No, what? What? It's something different. The whole thing is and just having conversations with them. It's really it's an interesting kind of experience because I quiz them like, all right, so what are you doing? You know what I mean? How are you driving around? How many private jets do you have? Most of them have multiple private jets anyway, of course, because they have to keep their operations going anyway. My point to you is that a node is the ultimate form of safety. And if the billionaires can have it, I want you to have it as well. And it's free. You don't have to pay for this. So knowledge, what it is, it's essentially a technology, a server that allows you to protect yourself. So that way you can validate your own transactions, right? So I always keep my own node and I keep a copy of the blockchain myself. That way I don't have to ask anybody for permission to see a transaction. Imagine if Visa and MasterCard and American Express were that transparent, where all of the history of credit card transactions were fully transparent. Can you imagine? That's something crazy. But that's unfortunately, cryptocurrency allows that to be possible. Unfortunately, credit card transactions are not cryptographically secured, so you wouldn't do that. So knowledge on the back end, I know a lot of the newbies are like, you're talking about nodes. This is not a newbie subject, and you're right. It's not a newbie subject. I apologize. I won't spend another minute on it because I know there's other questions in the room. But knowledge, hit me on the back end and I'll get you started so you can build a node this week.
Okay.
You got it.
Oh, one more thing. All right. I know y'all have questions, but I'm usually at work, so I can't get these off. Let's say, sorry for the background. Let's say hypothetically, right? That I'm a person who has over, let's just say a hefty amount of crypto, right? And a certain asset or a certain form. I have about over 3 billion of a coin. And I kind of just want to play it that safe way and kind of get my cold wallet or cold storage wallet and everything set up so that I can kind of just tuck it away and go about my business and reaccumulate. Which one would be the best one that I could actually pivot towards? Because I know you talk about them a lot, but I didn't really put too much focus into it, if I'm being honest, because I just didn't have that much where I felt like, I ain't nobody out here. And you got hope with, 50,000 Bitcoin.
One day. Not today. You got to take a few zeros off of that, but your first number is actually pretty close. But anyway, so here's the thing. There are a couple wallets on the scene that are pretty good, but the top wallet from a security perspective is the Ledger. And if you're going to get the Ledger, go for the X because It'll give you greater capacity. It's certainly a little annoying because it has a small screen, and there's some other versions that have bigger screens. But I want you to look at this device a little bit more than just something to make your life easier. It's something to give you air-gapped security to your private keys. So it doesn't store your private keys on the device. What it's doing is it's coding it so that it has a reference directly to your private keys. You get it? So if you lose the device, it's okay. Just make sure that you keep the private key to restore the device, and then you can buy a new device, and it will create those same breadcrumbs directly to the blockchain so that you can restore and have access to your cryptocurrency. So it serves as almost like a gateway of trust that you can utilize in that regard. And hacking this device is right now not possible. I haven't seen anybody do it, but those other devices, many of them, I've seen them be hacked. I'm talking about from a circuitry perspective, folks, that know electrical engineering. They download it and connect to the circuitry, and they can download the information and hack it. So a lot of those other devices are less secure at a circuit level. All right, not to get geeky on you guys, but yeah, you get it. Yeah, yes, yeah.
I was more so pushing for the metal plate.
Oh, yes. So let me. So yes, sir. So let me give you that. So that's what we call air gapped security, meaning after you do that. So let me explain what knowledge is dropping on us right now. Essentially, there's a lot of ways to hold your private keys, right? So one way to hold your private keys, and this is something that I authored a report for a client years ago, and believe it or not, that review on security, because they wanted to hold lots of money in Bitcoin, and they wanted to know a way that it would not be hacked. And I went to the best minds on security at the time, and cold storage became a thing at that point. It's like, when the internet first started, we didn't have firewalls, right? And then firewalls came and it became a thing. That's exactly what's happening right now. So here's the method. After you get your private keys, you etch them into a steel plate, and these plates are sold on Amazon. There's a nice set on a couple of different websites. I can throw some websites at anyone interested, and then you etch your private keys into these seed words into this plate. Then you put a tamper-resistant seal over that, and then you store this in a safe. So this is how the wealthy, meaning it doesn't take any electricity to store it. So it doesn't take any energy, right? The stainless steel plate is not going to rust. And so essentially, it doesn't matter if you go back to it in 10 years, you can go back, pull it out. The blockchain is immutable. It's not going to change. So it's the perfect way to have long-term cold storage. And this is how billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin is stored today in the Swiss Alps and other storage places around the world.
I just wanted to say something that you told me before, and I'm really grateful. When I was about to buy my Netto Ledger, I was going to go on Amazon and get the cheapest one. Probably Amazon warehouse used one. And so I remember you told me, don't buy it from Amazon or anywhere except Netto Ledger. So that's where I bought mine. True. So thank you.
True, absolutely. Thank you for bringing out that point. You're absolutely right. Because essentially, let me give you another horror story. And I'm sorry I'm filled with all this doom and gloom today. It's Tuesday. But what there was a good friend of mine, and this guy has been in the industry for a long time. But I didn't know he had such a rocky start to his time in the industry, because in the beginning, people didn't really understand it, right? So he bought some Bitcoin from somebody a long time ago, right? And we're talking like 2012, 2013, and he got a sweetheart deal on it. So they gave him his private keys and stuff on a piece of paper, right? But they had his private keys, and he kept the piece of paper on the side, not being smart enough to transfer it somewhere else, while so he could have the possession and no one else can know his private keys. When he goes back and checked the content of the wallet, someone used the same private keys they sold to him on that paper, transferred it to their wallet, and today we're talking a fortune that's worth millions of dollars. We're talking maybe $100 million worth of Bitcoin stolen, right? And this brother of mine, a good brother, he's over in the UK, and UK happens to have laws that are favorable because they don't have like statute of limitations. Like, he could really go after them if he can prove it. But I'm like, how do you prove that? It's like, you know, unfortunately, he wasn't wise to the challenges, and he allowed his stuff to get taken. It's sad, but it's true. And and he knows those guys are living in. It's a team of them. They're living in the lap of luxury. They divided that into four. Each of them got like 20 million each or so. you know, he said one is in this part of the world, and others in a different part of the world, and he's watching how they're living their lives, and as he watched them continue to advance in wealth, you know, he started to understand, that he was robbed, and he acknowledged it, but he didn't acknowledge it like someone really who got robbed would acknowledge it, right? Because it wasn't that valuable before. It was like, $100,000 when it first started. Oh, okay, I lost a little bit of money. But then now it's big money. It's not just $100,000 anymore. It's $100 million. So anyway, lesson to the wise: protect what you have, right? And I know this is a crypto newbies room, and we're going to certainly wrap up here in the short run. But if anybody has any questions about anything, hopefully everyone takes advantage of the free airdrop that we did today. So if you're interested in the airdrop and you want that free NFT, every week I'll be coming with some kind of giveaway, and I'll start to announce it in the title and so on, so everyone knows what it is. I dropped a free NFT today, brother. Airdrops, man. Yes. Yes. How can I help you? Yes.
Thank you so much.
No problem. That's what this is all about. Talk to me.
So listen, I want to save you a little bit of time when you see my barrage of texts in your back channel. I started out saying, oh, I don't know if I have an Ethereum. This is what I have Ethereum on Coinbase. I screenshot it. Then I was trying to find the.
Don't worry. Hold on. Oh, relax. We'll take this on the back channel. No worries. You'll be straight. No worries. Okay. Go ahead.
The end of the story, the good news is I did do the MetaMask, and so I think at the end I have the right thing. So don't get discouraged when you see all that. That's the good news.
I got you. Don't worry. We'll handle it on the back channel. Don't worry. No worries. Any final questions before we wrap up? I just wanted to make sure that I didn't leave anyone behind. I know we had a lot of side conversation, but again, the goal here is this conversation is definitely going to deal with current events. But I think the current event of today is that everybody wants what you have. If you're holding any cryptocurrency, you hold it. Do not let it go. There's a lot of FUD in the streets. Yes, Bitcoin was down, and notice as soon as Bitcoin turned around, everything turned green. You think this is like a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. Hey, David, how you doing? Talk to me.
Good. Okay, the guy, I think it was a young couple that got busted for hacking
Yep.
Bitcoin.
Yep.
It was like several hundred million.
Yes.
Who caught them?
I don't have the full story in terms of how they got caught, but this is not the first time that people have pulled a thread on cryptocurrency and was able to track people down. Because believe it or not, there's ways to geolocate people from some of their movements and their touches to the blockchain. So that's
Really, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's real. Oh, it's real. I mean, and it's dangerous, and that's where nodes come in to kind of shield you, so you don't have to go out and validate stuff through the internet, because the internet is still the internet, right? It's a public kind of system. But the node, if you keep your private node, then you don't got to go out of your network to validate. You can validate in your network, and you're not exposing yourself, right? So trust me, and I learn a lot of the security stuff from these very powerful mining operations, because they have to protect themselves. And I had no clue that the security was this high, but there's some real military presence on tracking cryptocurrency around the world, and most of it is coming from like Israel and folk places like that in the world.
Hope I'm on your link tree. For your class, you said this Thursday for
Yeah.
NFTs. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's not on Linktree, it's on LinkedIn. So find me on LinkedIn, and then you'll see the masterclass. I'm sorry, yeah, I posted it on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll see that. Just look me up and it, or even text me, and I can send you the direct link. And as I said, if there are still a couple people interested, I still I believe have a couple VIP passes. I can get a couple people in. First come, first serve. Sorry, I can't get everybody in on that. But anyway, this was a pleasure. It's 8:01. I'm not gonna, hold you guys hostage or anything like that. I respect your time. But thank you guys for coming to the basics class. If you are interested in anything I shared, certainly contact me on the back channel. Blessing to you guys this year. You guys stay safe in these crypto streets, and certainly, yeah. Go ahead, drop it.
Just wanted to ask some quick thoughts on I feel like the random, it was expected, right? But the random ETF that was released for Bitcoin. So I feel like how it was rolled out was kind of, it wasn't quickly, right? It was kind of, I won't say normal, but it was expected. But how they kind of just tossed it in there, I guess, Monday or Tuesday, they were close to the new ETF coming out. So I was wondering how you think it would play out in the market with that rolling out. So I'm kind of expecting some bullish movement. I kind of see it in the charts and things like that, but I kind of just wanted so I guess perspective from that.
That's definitely not a brief. That's not a brief conversation. I'll start off next week with my thoughts on that, just so that you guys. Yeah, because I definitely I have some thoughts on that. Either way, any spot ETF for Bitcoin is major. Just so you know, it's not a little bit, it's major. It's not a little bit of major, it's a lot major. And I can tell you why. Because and Michael Saylor says it the best, right? Michael Saylor says it the best. He says, if you want to secure your place in a difficult world, in an uncertain world, you hold on to things that people of high net worth will cherish, right? So that's why people hold on to AU, because there's always going to be a counter buyer for that, right? Or precious stones. I talked with some wonderful people about some precious stones here in America, and that they got from the motherland, and it was, so precious stones is still very valuable as an example. And then, like Picassos and Rembrandts and Monets, right? And and believe it or not, Bitcoin now is in that category. And because of that, and people are seeing what's going on, I can also tell you some stories about folks who, for example, and this is just my last little touch, and then I'll pick it up. Next week I'll start off with the ETF, and because a lot of the newbies are like lost, they're like ETFs, they're zoning out right now, knowledge. But essentially I'll start off next week and really just bring it back to basics, and make sure that I touch it properly. But what's happening is that this is an easy on ramp and off ramp, right? And the more that this is known, and different institutional level traders will start to utilize it, it becomes a safe haven, because every 5 years, anyone who holds gold bullion, I'm just letting you guys know, if you hold gold bullion, do you guys know every 5 years that hallmark essentially expires? It's almost like gold it can get old. You guys know that, right?
I personally realize gold can get old. So.
Yeah. So what's happening right now? There's a holding cost for all of this stuff, right? So the holding cost, many folks, and I've seen it directly, they're not going through the process. They're like, I just want to sell it, and then they're converting to digital gold. I'm telling you, because the holding cost is not high. There's actually, if you do it and you like I described earlier, you do the engraved plates with tamper resistant seal and put it in the Swiss Alps. Of course, there's a holding cost for the safe, but it's like a safety deposit box, but it's just bigger. You got a big safe with all your valuables, and that's it. You're not paying for anything. It's not going to be on the blockchain in terms of activity. There's no actual activity. It's cold storage. It's air gap cold storage. You're not touching it until it hits $1 million per Satoshi.
So many companies that specialize in faster transactions. Each company that specializes in categories they're trying to compete to be the best one that gives you the 3 cents per transaction, 1 cent per transaction, and things like that. So we just had such a fast-paced time with everything in terms of the transaction. So it's just great to be alive and kind of be in that time.
It's a great. This is like the gold rush, you right? This is like a great time to be alive. You're absolutely right. I'm glad you said that, and it's a great time for our community too. I was talking to some folks, some bankers. Was it? No, it was last week. I talked to some bankers, and when I talked to these bankers, and again, everyone doesn't have this opinion, so I'm going to share my opinion before we wrap. Here's the opinion, right? Cryptocurrency needs more diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's needed, right? And so that's what I'm promoting. I'm out here trying to make sure our community, that we get a stake. We don't have to have the biggest stake, but at least have a lawn chair. You know, be on the lawn and be able to see the game, right? Don't stay out of this game. This is a game you want to participate actively into, some way, shape, and form. Do it safely, right? So I was talking to this banker about that position, and because there are different studies that say that the African American community within the next 20 years or so will have a net worth of zero. So I just want to restate that, because and the reason for it, this is the Prosperity Now research. You can Google it if you're interested. I can send you the study directly. And so what it's saying is that the Black community, they're not holding assets, right? And if you guys know anything about me, I grew up with parents who knew about holding real estate and other types of assets. You guys can check out more about my story. Dee had a wonderful podcast. If you guys get a chance, go check out that podcast. Certainly. And if you don't have a copy already, please buy a copy of the book, Don't Buy Beer with Bitcoin. If you're a newbie, there's benefit. You'll be able to understand the strategy very, very, very clearly. It's written in clear speech, but it also is backed by, real information, real facts and figures. And then it also, connects with some of the economic theory that I think a lot of people don't really understand. It's broken down in very plain English. So if anyone has any questions about that or anything else, please, reach out to me. And, without any further ado, I will certainly see you guys all next Tuesday in this Crypto Basics room. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys all for your time. Of course.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Of course, you got it.
Real quick, before we shut it down, I want to say one thing that you just said that I felt like was super important as well too before we head up is that a lot of people are switching to assets. It's not to say that nobody's parking their money in savings accounts and bank accounts and things like that. People are actually switching to assets because with the inflation and numbers and things like that rising, your profit from actually owning some of those assets and things like that actually increases the increase of inflation and things like that. But yeah, I appreciate you.
No, absolutely. What you're saying is exactly the point. I'll circle back to that. I didn't mean to just drop it as an afterthought. But this banker actually responded. I lost my train of thought when I was wrapping up there. But the banker actually was saying that he believed that it's only a small segment of the Black community throughout this country that is in that category, and I disagree. I mean, he might be living in Prince George's County, right, where everyone around him is driving Escalades, and unfortunately, I grew up, or fortunately, I grew up in urban Jamaica, Queens. So I face the reality of the African American community and the plight. Unfortunately, you look at places like Far Rockaway, Queens, where it certainly gave birth to a great singer that's going to perform at the Super Bowl this Sunday, Mary J. Blige. But it's 50. It's like hundreds of blocks of projects by the beach. And we're talking hundreds and hundreds of thousands of poor kids growing up in these real desperate circumstances. And I don't care if it's the beach, but if you're on the beach and you're hearing gunshots, how safe you gonna feel? You get what I'm saying? This ain't Malibu. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm sharing with you guys is that, there's a lot of people who are feeling hopeless, especially, the pandemic is part of it, but there's two realities in America. I think there's some people that are doing well, but I think there's a lot of people that are not doing well. And it's not just urban America neither. Rural America is facing it just as hard. I'm seeing it. And that's where, the pressure is happening. And we're all in the same boat, meaning if we are not taking action to protect ourselves and our financial pictures, we can't wait on anybody else to do it. Thank God for America, where we have the freedom to take action to, protect ourselves and our property. And, the Constitution really backs us in all of this. But, this is a real thing. And cryptocurrency, I think, is one of those things that's part of our freedom. Thank goodness that most of crypto mining for Bitcoin right now is in North America. Thank goodness because we recognize the power of freedom, right? So anyway, don't get me started. We'll continue on next Tuesday, same time, same bad channel here at 7 o'clock. It was a pleasure, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you all.
Absolutely, you know it.
Thanks, Phil.